Hey everybody, in today's video I'm going to give you a quick walkthrough, quick summary of the Casio G-Shock Module QW3475 watch. I like doing these videos in case there's somebody out there who's debating buying this watch and they just want to get an idea of what does it look like, what's the functionality like, how does it work, so on and so forth. So what I'm going to try and do here is kind of talk to you about the positives of the watch and then talk to you about the negatives of the watch. The first thing in terms of positives is it is a great looking watch and it is built like a tank, which is pretty much what you can expect from Casio watches. They put a lot of work into their hardware and they don't disappoint. I've got some of them that I've had for pushing 20 years that I've never had any issues with, and they are still going strong. This is a solar powered watch and the battery life is great on it. I've yet to charge it. I've still got 2 bars and I've had it for well over a month. Just basically using some general functionality with it. I have used the GPS. I do have it connected to my cell phone, and I've yet to charge it once. I really haven't got out and got too much sunlight on the watch either, and I've yet to have to charge it. So the battery life is very good, and the build is very good. Hardware-wise, can't beat it. It is a rather large watch. However, my wrists are really strong, and it basically fits just like any of my ProTrek watches. When I first opened it up, it looked huge. Once I got it on my wrist, got used to it, it really wasn't too bad. The negative of it is if you are a smartwatch person and you want to be able to do a lot of customization, you like smartwatch features, I think you're probably going to be disappointed with this watch. If you just like the look of it and you don't plan on using a lot of the smartwatch features, then you'll probably be pretty happy with it. So let's talk about some of the basics. It's going to work just like most of your Casio G-Shock watches or your ProTreks. You've got a few different modes on this watch. You've got a designated mode button down here on the left. That is going to be what you use to cycle through your modes. You cannot customize any modes on the watch, so what you're going to see here is pretty much what you get. This is my main timekeeping mode. We're going to come back to this one. You can actually change your display in your timekeeping mode. I'll show you that here in a second. Actually, let me show you that first. Basic timekeeping. You'll notice this top left button is your display button. If I press it, it basically just toggles different displays I can look at. This one's showing my month, date, day of the week. You'll see there's a little indicator up here in the top left that shows me I have cell phone notifications. The bottom down here shows me I'm connected to a cell phone. If I had heart rate monitoring turned on for all time, 24-hour heart rate monitoring, I would also see a heart icon down here at the bottom. I do not have that turned on, so that's why we don't see it. If I press the display button though, we can choose a different display. If you want to be able to track your step information, that's kind of what this display is for. Still have my time information, time and date information down here at the bottom, but up at the top I can see my current steps for the current date, 1,669 is what I'm currently at, and then I've got basically a bar graph down here that shows what percentage of my goal have I hit today as well as the last 7 days in terms of step tracking. You cannot change any of that. So if you're not interested in steps and you're interested in heart rate or something else, that's too bad. This is what you've got for this display. Press display again. You can see kind of the same thing. You've still got your time information. Up here though, this view, you've got basically your VO2 max and your recovery time from your last run activity. I don't have any of that here. That's why you're seeing blanks. But that's kind of what this one is, more for activity tracking or exercise tracking. Press display again. It will show you your achievements over the last 7 months. You'll see these digits here, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Those are representing months. We are in October, so it's showing me the current month. You can change some of the values here. So for the current month, I'm at 0.35 miles. Unfortunately, if you want to change the values that's showing here, you can't do it on the watch. You have to go get on the G-Shock Move app on your cell phone, and you have to change it on your cell phone. I was talking about being disappointed in the software. The software on this watch is very bizarre. There's certain things that you can do on the watch as well as your cell phone. There's certain things you can only do on the watch, not on your cell phone, and there's certain things you cannot do on the watch, you can only do on the cell phone. And the cell phone app is not very good, at least not compared to, Fitbit, Garmin, Apple, some of the other devices I've used in the past. But this is the only view from the timekeeping mode that you can actually change the values. Don't get too excited. You can basically look at miles, I believe, runtime and altitude changes over the last few months. Press display again. This view is actually pretty functional if you're interested in heart rate. You'll notice that my heart rate is showing 3 dots because I have heart rate tracking turned off. But if you had it turned on, it would show you your current heart rate, your maximum heart rate for the given day, your minimum heart rate for the given day, and the time. And the nice thing is you can keep it on this mode and you can view your heart rate information throughout the day. You don't have to go to the heart rate mode, but you can go to the heart rate mode. I'll show you that here in a sec. The last display option you have is your world time display. I've got my time at the bottom and then my world time up at the top. And then obviously you could change your world time. That's a good example of you can change it on the cell phone or you could change it on the watch. So there's certain things you could do on both and then certain things you can't. Press it one more time, it takes me back to the view that we started with. So those are your different views that you can have when you're just in your regular timekeeping mode. Timekeeping mode will keep you in timekeeping mode at all times. It will not change you. The modes we're going to look at down here when we press the mode button, after you've been in them for so long, if you don't do anything, it'll eventually kick you back to your timekeeping mode, which is pretty common with other G-Shock or ProTrek models. I'm going to press mode once. The first mode is going to be the heart rate mode. I'll put my finger back here so you can actually see a heart rate reading. Now, I have heart rate monitoring turned off, which basically means the only time I'll get a heart rate reading is if I go to the heart rate mode, and you can see that I am now getting a heart rate reading. Some modes have multiple views, so you'll notice that this is one view, my current heart rate, and then the time up there, my battery level down here at the bottom. If I press display, it shows me a second view, which is basically my current heart rate, my max for the day, my minimum for the day, and there's a line chart that shows what's my heart rate been doing over the last 24 hours. But if I press display again, that's it. Those are my only 2 options for that. Press mode again, it'll take you to your training mode. This would be where you can basically look at your activity tracking or your training if you've done some run exercises. I'm going to go ahead and press mode again. I don't have too much to show you there. You've got your stopwatch mode. And actually, I should say, let me go back, show you stopwatch mode, because I think, yeah, you don't have a different view. You'll notice if I press display here, there's nothing else to show you in the stopwatch. You've basically got a start and a stop. And that's it. If I press the mode button again, it'll take me to my compass, altimeter, and barometer. It's a cool feature. There's other watches that do a lot better job with the compass, altimeter, barometer. One of the things I don't like about this one is it always shows you your heart rate information, even on your compass, altimeter, and barometer. Well, somebody like me who has heart rate tracking turned off, what's the point of seeing that? And unfortunately, there's things like that that you don't have any ability to change. So you can see here's my compass. Compass does work pretty well. It's pretty cool. The value is rather small. Here's your solar sensor on the side here. I don't know why they made the compass reading so small. To me, it's a lot of wasted space on the watch face. If I press the display button, it'll take me to my altimeter view. Again, there's my heart rate, which I have no use for. Press display again, it'll take me to my barometer. Barometer does have temperature value. As with most watches, you can change it from Celsius to Fahrenheit, or if you don't want hectopascals, you want inches of mercury, you can do that. But that's your compass, altimeter, barometer mode. Press display again, take me back to the compass. Press mode another time, it basically takes me to a summary to show me my last activity that I did on the watch. Press mode again, takes me to my training status where I can look at my training activity. Press mode again, it will take me to my cell phone notifications. One of the odd things about this watch is your cell phone notifications is the last mode, and there is no way for you to change the order of these modes. So, and I can, you'll notice it says check, I can press any one of these to see the given notifications. So there is a different view there, and I can click display to change the display. Let me press mode one more time. It should take me back to my main timekeeping. What I was saying about that is, so let's say something comes in on my watch and I see, oh, I've got a notification. I need to go look at it. If I want to go look at it on the watch, I have to press the mode button 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times to get to my cell phone notifications. And to me, that's kind of pointless. I might as well just pull out my phone and look at it on my phone. I can do it quicker than going through all those different modes. So anyway, but that is a mode for you, is to look at your cell phone notifications. So that's the basic of the modes. Your button at the top right here is going to be your backlight button. Not sure how well you'll be able to see it, but there's the backlight. I've done a video in the past where I just show you the backlight in a dark setting. The backlight is pretty good. You have two options, 1.5 seconds or 3 seconds, just like most other Casio G-Shock or ProTrek watches. They don't give you any other options besides that. This bottom is basically just going to act as your lap button when you're doing a run, as well as your back button if you're in any kind of modes or setting screen. The button on the left-hand side is going to take you into a running activity, and it will connect your GPS automatically if you've got GPS turned on for the run activity. This is not like a Garmin watch. You can't go out there and say, I'm doing a hiking activity, or today I'm doing bike riding, or I'm doing fishing. You can do that stuff on Garmin. On this, you're basically doing a run activity, and that is it. And the way you would get into that is by pressing the run button. I'm not going to show you that because there's not too much to show you while I'm sitting indoors and not moving. But that's just some basic navigation on the Casio G-Shock watch. At least it shows you your different watch face options and the different mode options that you have on the watch. Again, I'm not trying to bash the watch. It looks great and it feels great and it's built really well. Just in terms of the features and the software options on it, it's definitely lacking compared to other watches out there. Anyway, I hope the video helps. Thanks for watching.